What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Nearly 24 world leaders are in Kuala Lumpur for the ASEAN summit. The three-day meeting brings together leaders from the 11-member bloc, as well as key partners such as the United States. U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday presided over a peace deal between Cambodia and Thailand, while also announcing a U.S. trade deal with Cambodia and a minerals deal with Thailand. The summit comes as the region faces growing tensions in the South China Sea and works to strengthen economic ties amid global trade uncertainty. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Taiwan has no reason to worry about being abandoned by Washington as the U.S. prepares for trade talks with Beijing in Malaysia. His comments come amid growing speculation that Washington might soften its stance on Taiwan to secure a trade deal with China. Here in Taipei, Foreign Minister Lin Jialong is thanking the United States for its continued support, saying Washington has stood firmly with Taiwan since U.S. President Donald Trump took office. Trump is currently on an Asian tour and expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea later this week. A ban on transporting and slaughtering pigs has been extended for 10 more days as Taiwan moves to stop the spread of African swine fever. It comes after a farm in Taichung tested positive for the virus, the country's first confirmed case. The control measures are part of a new 5-point plan to strengthen prevention and control. Premier Zhou Rongtai says inspections and border checks will be stepped up. Just months ago, Taiwan became the first country in Asia to be officially free of African swine fever, classical swine fever, and foot and mouth disease. Taiwan's creative talent is making waves on the global stage. At the 2025 World Stage Design Competition in the United Arab Emirates, one of the most prestigious international events in performance design, 5 Taiwanese artists took home top honors. Our reporter Sandy Chi has the story.
Recreating the lost ritual movements of the Amis Harvest Festival through contemporary dance. Infinity Cycle is one of the standout works being celebrated at this year's World Stage Design Awards in Sharjah.
First place goes to Li Guohan, Li, Infinity Circle.
This work won the Video and Projection Design Professional category at the awards, which are dedicated to performance design and span theater, dance, sound video, and more.
那这个作品呢，其实在说的是，原住民阿美族的 Ilisim， 也就是丰年祭，就是在他们传统的记忆里面，如何的透过他们自己内部的原住民内部的凝视，以及可能外来观光客的凝视，以及祖灵的凝视，然后去交织而成，试着重建起最原始的那一种对神灵的信仰。
Held every 4 years. This year's World Stage Design Awards was co-hosted by the Sharjah Performing Arts Academy and OASTAT, the International Organization of Sonographers, Theatre Architects and Technicians.
那这个竞赛当中呢，我们会选全球最好的100件入围作品。那这100件入围作品当中，本届非常特别，有30件是来自台湾，等于台湾的入围数高达1/3，是全球各个国家当中入围数最高的。
Taiwan stood out this year, winning 5 first-place prizes, including in sound and design, lighting design, set design, as well as video and projection design. The event also featured over 100 in-depth forums, workshops, exhibitions, and performances, providing new opportunities for Taiwan's designers.
我觉得对于台湾的设计师来说呢，可以好好的利用 OSA 国际剧场组织这个全球的网络，包括参加 OSA 的活动啊 ，OSA 的会议啊，进一步去认识更多跟他志同道合的设计师，然后就可以进一步提升台湾的影响力。
Taiwan's designers are returning home with more than just trophies. They're bringing global recognition and pride, sharing their stories with the world through their designs. Chrisma Anchimal and Tanichi for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has bagged 6 more medals at the Asian Youth Games in Bahrain. The athletics team alone secured 4 medals, 1 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze, with Lin Chaoling making it to the top of the podium in the women's 400 meters hurdles. In golf, Lin Jie-en and Shi Binghua nabbed bronze in the women's team, while Taekwondo athlete Wang Jieling won bronze in the women's 49-kilogram category. As of Sunday, Taiwan has won 3 gold, 4 silver, and 9 bronze medals, coming in 6th overall among all participating countries. A major exhibition in southern Taiwan is tracing the development of the country's art history, bringing together iconic masterpieces and local talent. Our reporter Sandy Chi is back with the story.
This iconic work, Panorama of Mount Lu, is currently on display for the first time in Tainan. It's by Zhang Daqian, one of the greatest painters in the history of modern Taiwan. The work, on loan from the National Palace Museum, is featured in the exhibition called the Formosa Era. The exhibit began in March this year, consisting of 3 phases, tracing 150 years of art in Taiwan. It explores collective consciousness, local identity, and the shifting dialogue between old and new landscapes.
我觉得这次展览就是一个最好的一个台湾美术史的一个教本、教科书。你在这个展览里面，你前中后3期如果都有看的话，其实你就非常清楚这些脉络，有哪些重要的艺术家，有哪些代表性的作品。
Held at the Tainan Art Museum, the Formosa Era exhibition, together with the display of the panorama of Mount Lu, marks an important milestone in the museum's development.
基本上就是象征着这一个馆，它要由地方的论述转换为国家的论述，由地方美术史的这样的一个研究呢，转换为台湾美术史的这样子的一个重建的工作。
Displayed alongside Zhang Daqian's iconic piece are the works of local artists from Tainan, or pieces created in the city. From scenes of everyday life to modern interpretations of its century-old heritage, the artworks capture the city's enduring creative spirit.
从每一件作品去思考，然后去回应就是它有可能可以编织出一个什么样的我们对这块土地因为台南建成以来也有300-400年就是这个它的各种轨迹，可能是透过名胜古迹的方式，可能是透过一个风景呈现的方式，或是透过一些比较感人的这种艺术家的个人的生命史的方式来呈现。
The third phase of the Formosa Era exhibition is scheduled to begin this weekend, offering visitors a rare chance to experience the evolution and brilliance of Taiwan art. Alex Chen, PG Zhuang, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
From AI pop stars to breakthroughs in healthcare, Taiwan is finding new ways to harness artificial intelligence. A reporter, Isabel Wang, from our interview series Zoom In, Zoom Out, sat down with Taiwan AI Labs founder Ethan Tu to talk about the promises and pitfalls of AI and why he believes people, not machines, will ultimately call the shots.
We're seeing a lot of maybe news coverage, stories that talk about how people or like employees, startups maybe, like they are using AI tools to advance their business or like their work. Do you personally use AI?
Of course, I use AI every day. So I use AI to help me to do the research. I use AI to help me to for the language I not perform. I actually use AI to help me to translate into like Japanese, Korean, and AI is very good in translation. And I also use AI, like in Taiwan AI Lab, we have our speed recognition tools to record what we are talking about right now. I use AI to do the summary. I use AI to create, for example, in Taiwan AI Lab, we also have like a avatar. If you want to create a news report without the anchor, then you can use AI avatar.
Do you think my job will be replaced one day?
No, I would say we will use AI every day, but AI will not replace human because human will be the boss of AI.
I use AI, but it's easy to get like very dependent on it. I'm not sure if that happened to you or not. When we're co-working with AI tools, like how should we find the balance or like the boundary of not being, over-reliance on that?
The creativity of the human being and the investigation power of human beings will not be replaced by AI. For example, in our Hualien local scene, when they want to create a song that represents their culture, that represents their hometown. AI cannot help them, but they can work with the AI to create a very good song representable for their history or their memory. That part AI cannot replace.
That's a point where you are a strong advocate for responsible AI,
Yeah.
something related to that. So how do you think that it's being applied in the music sector? Because we talk about maybe there's like copyright issue. What's the line there?
One of the reasons we funded Taiwan AI Lab because we believe artificial intelligence will become a superpower, and if we don't control it right, in the future maybe artificial intelligence will control human instead of human in the center. In responsible AI, we actually advocate the artificial intelligence need to be responsible, need to be verifiable, need to be traceable, and need to be auditable before you use it. Sometimes I am joking, a large language model is a gossip engine. They learn a lot of
People's gossip online.
people's gossip, people's knowledge on the internet, but a lot of them are actually not correct. But because artificial intelligence, like when you talk to GPT, they are very convincing. People tend to believe. Then that is actually become very dangerous because you can deepfake a lot of story, you can deepfake the video, you can deepfake the news, but actually that's not truth or that's misleading. So when we say responsible AI, the artificial intelligence can support the news media, for example, but need to follow the guidance of the ethic.
That was Ethan Tu from Taiwan AI Labs. You can watch the full interview with him on Zoom In, Zoom Out, available on the TaiwanPlus website or on YouTube. Police in South Korea's capital have rolled out an innovative way to project force and bring a sense of security to an area prone to crime. Tim Smith has the story.
안녕하세요. 서울중부경찰서입니다. 서울중부경찰서는 중부청과 함께 더욱 안전한.
A year ago, police in downtown Seoul's Jung district came up with an unusual plan for augmenting patrols. They began projecting holograms of officers onto life-size cutouts to reassure residents wary of crime at a local park. The virtual officers pop up every 2 minutes between 7 and 10 p.m. throughout Jungdong Park and come with a wry warning to smile for the CCTV cameras. The holograms also come with an emergency button next to the cutouts just in case someone needs to alert actual flesh and blood police. The idea came from Officer Kim Soo-hang. She wanted to create a visible police presence to reassure friends and family worried about walking through the park at night.
We project a video onto a life-sized acrylic signboard from behind. That way, the holographic video is displayed across the whole figure from head to toe.
The cop pop-ups have turned out to not be just for show either. They've apparently had a noticeable effect. According to city police records, crime in the area dropped by 22% between the start of the projections in October 2024 through May 2025, notably robberies and assaults.
Since these crimes are triggered by sudden bursts of emotion, it's usually very difficult for officers to intervene beforehand, which makes prevention challenging. In that sense, the visual message that the police are always watching helped raise awareness and acted as an effective deterrent.
But do residents in this Seoul neighborhood feel safer with the cutouts?
It looks just like a regular person, and when I see it at night, since it really feels like there's a police officer standing right next to me, that makes me feel safer personally.
Others may not be so certain. A British criminology professor says that despite the shimmering silhouettes issuing their tinny warnings from the shadows, crime could rise again once the novelty wears off. But for the time being, they're light in the darkness. Scott Wong and Tim Smith for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, let's head to the UK to see the birth of a rare Bornean orangutan at Chester Zoo. I'm Ethan. Take care, and I'll see you next time.